Crossover into the lane, hangs and scores off the window. And they've hit 5 in a row. Degman trying to make it 6. You bet. 3-2 in the half court. O'Neal for 3. Carroll for 3. Face of Bertali up and in. Another chance. Up top. 3-pointer. Tipped away from Ferenc. Lobbed ahead for Gibbons. Count the bucket and the foul. Silva attracting a lot of attention. Gets it back. Deep 3. Straight away. Up and in. Skip pass back to the corner. Sanasuoso. Arcing 3 up and in. Trying to bring Holfisher into the paint. Does so. Fade away up and in and the foul. Gotta hurry here. 2 seconds. 35-footer up and in. Harris off the crossover. Sets up a 3 from Dunning, who knocks down his second from three-point land.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Hampton. Nick Anastas with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance, featuring 2 of the best teams in Division I, including the 2-time champion Exeter Bluehawks, looking to make it 2-0 in this early season after beating Winnacunnet on their home floor earlier in the week. Jeff Holmes and his Bluehawks, all business here as we head towards the opening tip. Winnacunnet, they hung around on Tuesday, but ended up on the wrong side of a 59-50 final score. That dropped the Warriors' record down to 1-1 on the season. They kicked off the year with a win over Spalding. Meanwhile, pregame activities, senior night in the home opener. Not often you see that, but that is the case here as Winnacunnet will honor their 8 seniors, a veteran-heavy group. And really pulling out all the stops as athletic director Aaron Aboud and his staff putting together a nice presentation, framed pictures, little gift bags, balloons around the interior of the gym. And also some class involved as well, as showing the visitors respect as Exeter seniors take a stand as their names are called here. The crowd, not too bad. Again, limited capacity tonight. Each member of the home team, each player, awarded a certain amount of tickets to give out. So basically, family members and a few friends filling up the near side of the stands anyway, about a third, maybe half full. No student body as of yet, as we continue to move forward with the season now a week old. All right, again, Exeter, the 2019 champs, the 2020 champs, although that, I suppose, comes with an asterisk. Of course, last year's tournament suspended in the quarterfinal round, and as a result, the committee decided to hand Exeter and Portsmouth co-champion labels in 2020. So technically, Exeter, who, by the way, was the favorite last year, in search for a 3rd straight under Coach Jeff Holmes. Meanwhile, Winnacunnet trying to get back to the championship game for the first time in over a decade. They were last there in 2010 when they fell to Pinkerton, but this group's strappy. This group is long, and as usual, competitive under Warrior head coach Jay McKenna. So this one should be an entertaining 4 quarters for sure, as not only are they well matched, they're also neighboring towns and rivals. This rivalry goes back decades out here on the beach. Reminder, tonight's coverage brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. Well, again, the pregame ceremonies on senior night. Although I don't believe any of the parents are allowed. Where are they? Down on the floor. There's a few, I believe, Winnacunnet staff members. And here it is. There's a tradition here. The player meets the parent at mid-floor. And COVID or not, exchanges a hug. I like it at midcourt here. So the photo op, the pomp and circumstance here on home opening night for Winnacunnet. And we'll bring you the live coverage in just a moment. But well, two teams that really like to get after it. They spread the floor. As you mentioned, both Coach Holmes and Coach McKenna widely respected in NHI AA basketball circles. Of course, the coaching circles. Been at it for quite a while. They're friends. And very familiar with one another, to say the least. So you throw in the fact that in Exeter's case, they open up the season back-to-back against Winnacunnet. And that just adds a little bit of spice, I think, to the flavor and to the rivalry between the coaches, for sure. Again, Winnacunnet kicked things off with an opening game win over Spalding. Blew out the Red Raiders 50-28 before, again, catching that L earlier in the week at Londonderry, or at Exeter, where the Blue Hawks carried the day 59-50. But coaches, I guess, got an opportunity here just 3 days later to turn around and not only get revenge, get another win, get back above 500, but instill perhaps some confidence in your group that, you know what, moving forward, we're as good as anybody if they can beat the defending champs. So a lot on the line here for this group. Again, senior heavy. 8 seniors. 3 juniors and a sophomore. That fills out the varsity roster for Coach McKenna. Exeter, of course, they lost a lot from that championship group to graduation, but still pretty veteran heavy. Matt McConnell saw a lot of time last year as a junior, as did the 6'5" Jacob Gibbons, who was getting looked at by local college coaches when play came to a halt last season. So Gibbons, number 22 in blue, one to keep an eye on for sure tonight. Also Tom Delgado, 6'2" senior. Noel Daniel, pretty good shooter. He's a senior as well. Tyler Gilbert, a senior. Chris Heffernan. So they've got veterans. Amar Usta is another senior. And plenty of juniors as well. Just 2 sophomores on this group, or in this group for Coach Holmes. So some would point to, well, they lost, 4 of their 5 starters from a year ago. It's perhaps a rebuilding year. I don't think Exeter knows how to rebuild. Perhaps they reload. And I think in the eyes of many, they are still at the top of the mountain and the team to beat again this season. So we'll see. Winnacunnet enjoying the pregame festivities. That can, I think, go one of 2 ways. If you're a Warrior fan, you hope that maybe the players are getting an extra level of inspiration. Sometimes some emotion is involved in these ceremonies, and the team can perhaps capitalize on that. Or, of course, the other direction would be that it's a distraction. That's not something Coach McKenna plans on here from his guys. Well, one thing for sure about these ceremonies, we had just a brief, 6 or 7 minute warm-up period for these teams, and now as the ceremony goes on, everybody's losing that pregame sweat, so to speak. But we'll see if that comes into effect in the early portions of the first quarter or not. May not be a factor. Again, busy night in the NHI-AA, including a rivalry in the Queen City tonight. Another rematch between Central and Memorial. Try and get some live scores for you throughout the broadcast. Definitely by halftime. Last night, we were in the Gate City as BG opened up their season with a 60-43 win over Bedford, able to pull away from the Bulldogs in the third quarter. PG, another veteran team with some size that I think is going to win some games this year. Quite a few. Well, again, good to see that COVID-19 has not stopped some of these important traditions here, including honoring the seniors and allowing friends and family to be in person. Here, by the way, is Brett Morelli, one of the forwards, hugging his father, Pete. His father, one of the better-known officials at the NCAA level. And you see him there standing next to his son. He's coached, or rather refereed in the area for a long time at the D1 level, at the D2 level, at the high school level.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment to recognize Jared Gillis. Jared was a 2009 Winnacunnet graduate who was the captain and leader of the basketball team. After high school, Jared returned to Winnacunnet as a baseball and basketball coach and coached the freshman team through last season. This past summer, Jared unexpectedly passed away, leaving his family, our players, and the entire Winnacunnet community strong. Jared was a mentor, a leader, and a competitor who positively impacted the lives of everyone he knew. Many of our upperclassmen played for Jared as freshmen and considered him a friend. We would like to honor Jared and his family by presenting one of the game jerseys to them. His family will come to center court. Jared's other jersey will hang through.
Well, there it is. Jared Gillis, a former assistant coach with the program, passed away last summer. His number 24, now framed and will hang above the entrance of the team's locker room. And a standing ovation for Jared, a 2009 graduate of Winnacunnet, and again a former assistant coach. So now a moment of silence. Well, now it looks like an additional 3 minutes has been given for the players to warm back up, as it looks like senior night, I thought, was concluded, but not quite. The 8 seniors now gathering at midcourt in their Winnacunnet home white uniforms to take one final photo here.
lost the I saw him. I saw his I did, yep, I did.
Welcome you back inside of FNLNH Courtside. It's the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Nick and Astis with you from Winnacunnet High School in Hampton, Exeter. Trying to go 2-0 out of the gate. The two-time defending Division I champs came away with a 59-50 win over this Winnacunnet squad back on Tuesday night. While Winnacunnet hoping to get back above the 500 mark with their second victory of the season and avenge Tuesday night's loss. 6:30 was the scheduled tip-off time. And now it looks like we'll tip off in about 2 minutes or so from now with senior night festivities in the rearview mirror. Both teams like to get after it defensively. Should see a lot of full court pressure tonight. Primarily a man-to-man look, I would assume, although both coaches do use a lot of zone. And again, both teams pretty good on the boards and can score in bunches. So this one should be a barn burner, as they like to say. We'll take a quick break, come back with the opening tip here in Hampton. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. Well, again, back here on the Seacoast for a Seacoast rivalry. Limited capacity, but a few cheerleaders in the gym and a few late arrivers filling out the seats as well. No fans for Exeter allowed in the building, unfortunately. But they saw their Blue Hawks open the season with that 59-50 win back on Tuesday. So we welcome those of you watching in Exeter and across the state, across the country, across the world here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Hit the subscribe button, if you would, on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Again, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, FNLNH Media on YouTube. All right, Exeter going to announce their starters. Matt McConnell will run the point. Tyler Gilbert, 6-foot guard. Another senior joins him in the backcourt. Chris Heffernan. The aforementioned Jacob Gibbons. And Tom Delgado will round it out. Now there's Elin Houston, number 5, one of their longer wings. James O'Hara, pretty good shooter. Both are seniors. And then we know about him, Sam Andriatola, a junior, going to man the middle. Mentioned Brett Morelli pregame as well. He's got plenty of varsity experience. And then Lucas Shake, another senior guard. So a total of 9 seniors of the 10 combined starters. So plenty of vets, so to speak, on the floor, at least to begin the game. All right, we'll step aside for the national anthem, come back with the tip in just a moment. All right, again, some new wrinkles. If you're unfamiliar, players have to wear the masks during the game. Still kind of a bizarre scene, in my opinion. And no jump ball either. Exeter is awarded the game's first possession. They'll take it side out of bounds near midcourt. Blue Hawks in their road blues, navy blues, white lettering. Warriors in their home whites with the blue lettering red trim. And we are underway here in Hampton. Exeter, the two-time defending champs, looking for 3 in a row, looking for their best player. They go inside to Gibbons on trip number 1. Misses at first, no. Second try, no. Third try is up and in by Tom Delgado, able to get 2 hands on the tip on the weak side and put Exeter in front. Meanwhile, O'Connell with a steal in the backcourt. Hangs no, tips no, and then is fouled on his 3rd try. Exeter with a blistering start, 6 field goal attempts. 2 points on the board and perhaps 2 more on the way as Matt McConnell was a starter last year in the backcourt for Coach Holmes. Gets his way to the free throw line just 29 seconds into this basketball game. So Exeter, we knew about the full court press. Pays off early by producing the game's first turnover. It leads to a free throw from McConnell. So a quick 3-0 start for the visitors. McConnell's second is good as well. Full court man. Winnacunnet gets it into the man's hands that they want. That's James O'Hara. Meanwhile, a travel is called. A collision along the side of the lane involving Morelli. They said Morelli shuffled the feet and traveled. Meanwhile, it looked like he hurt his hand on the way to the floor and now checks out of the game as athletic trainer Catherine Van Wert is going to take a look at the senior's left hand. So a quick sub already in the game. Joseph Allen, a junior, who I believe was on the squad last year as a sophomore, back in the game. Too strong on the runner off the glass. No problem on the board for Andrea Tola. And now a steal. Gibbons forced out of bounds and fouled at midcourt. 2 early turnovers for Winnacunnet as the Exeter defense forcing the issue and controlling the tempo here early on. They've got a 4-point lead 1 minute into the game. Winnacunnet, they'll also go man here. Off the screen, 3-pointer up short. Line drive effort misses off the front end by Chris Heffernan. Rebound to the Warriors. Winnacunnet looking for their first points. Andrea Tola with the dribble. Big man going to give it up. O'Hara into the corner. This is Shake. Up top, Andrea Tola catching fire. 3 up and in. The junior play inside, can play outside. He's got the Winnacunnet bench fired up. He's got the Warriors on the board. It's now 4-3, nearly 2 minutes in. Exeter wants an answer. Here's Gibbons. Going to put it on the floor. Good defense by Elin Houston. That's going to be a matchup to watch. In the corner, Gibbons. Lefty dribble, wants some space. Exeter will pull it out. Swung around the horn and then dropped in the corner out of bounds. Delgado took his eye off the ball, and Exeter gives it away for the first time. Winnacunnet a chance for the lead. Again, Exeter going to stretch the floor and pick up the full court man. Into the front court, Lucas Shake, left-hand dribble. Far side for Allen, up top for Houston. Houston wants a one-on-one, trying to shake his man free. 15-footer off target, then tipped out of bounds. Last touch by O'Hara. Well, Houston, a player who can get to the basket or pull up. He decided to do the latter for his first field goal attempt. Both teams still trying to get in rhythm here in the early going, 2.5 in. 3-pointer near side. That went off target from the wing. Quick 3 from Heffernan didn't go, and Winnacunnett's done a pretty good job on the glass. Meanwhile, they will count that and the foul. Lucas Shockey. Said Shake, I meant Shockey. Shake and bake there, and a high placement off the window. It's going to lead to a 3-point play opportunity. Foul goes against Exeter's Delgado, his first, and the team's first. So Winnacunnet the last 5. They get the last 6. So the 3-point play for Shaky, and a 6-4 Winnacunnet lead here, 3 minutes in. Warriors really getting after it. Gibbons, meanwhile, lost it out of bounds. Last touch, though, by the defender, Shaky. Gibbons wide open off the inbound. 3-point look. No good back iron. High rebound up for grabs, and O'Hara snatches it for the Warriors. Trying to power out of a crowd. Throws it up ahead. Here's Andrew Tola to the tin. Strong finish, his second bucket. Winnacunnet, after a slow start, they've greased the wheels, 8 straight. They've got an 8-4 lead. 3-pointer left side, and there's the answer for Exeter's Chris Heffernan. Missed his first 2 from deep. Not that time, though. Back to a 1-point game. Again, McConnell hounding O'Hara, picked his pocket. And draws a foul here on the floor as O'Hara tried to cut off the dribble drive. Second steal for McConnell, who's shown the lightning quick hands. Meanwhile, O'Hara picks up number 2, so Coach McKenna forced to take his point guard off the floor. He's going to sit Houston as well. So the starting backcourt tandem off the floor, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, Brett Morelli, the starter, back on after injuring his hand apparently earlier. McConnell's layup won't go. He follows his shot, kicks to the corner, and that 3 is true for Exeter's Delgado. His second field goal, first from 3-point land. It's a game of runs. Exeter, the first 4 points. Winnacunnet then scored 8 straight. Now the last 6 have gone to Exeter. McConnell, his third steal. Able to strip Allen on the way up. Now pulls up in traffic and drills a 3. Lets out a savage scream as well as Winnacunnet calls for time. Now a 9-0 run by the Blue Hawks, and it's 13-8 at the midway point here, first quarter. Well, McConnell, a difference maker, a veteran point guard, a senior with championship experience, and he has stolen the show here, at least in the early going through 4 minutes. 3 steals defensively. 5 points, including that 3-pointer from a moment ago. And Coach McKenna now having to rely on the backup point guard, William Burns, senior into the game. Going to try and face this now zone pressure from Exeter. Looks like a 1-2-2. Into the front court. Skip pass, far side. 3-pointer Morelli in the corner is too strong, and Exeter clears the glass. Delgado grabs it, leaves it to Gibbons, who comes into the front court. Exeter on a 9-0 run. Gibbons, a power move, can't get it off the window. Burns somehow snags the rebound from underneath the rim for Winnacunnet and brings it into the front court. Back to Morelli. Gives up on the shot, goes inside instead to Shaky, who's again going to show what he can do inside. His second field goal. The senior has 5. And Exeter, they see their run come to an end at 9 unanswered. Meanwhile, a carry is called against McConnell. A look of confusion from the senior, but the call occurred right in front of the official. Second turnover for Exeter. They retreat to a man-to-man here in the half-court set. 3-point game, 3 minutes left first quarter. Winnacunnet trying to go inside, they turn it over. Pass off target, a lob entry for Andrew Tola, but the junior couldn't quite get his mitts on it. Turnover number 4 for Winnacunnet. Delgado leaves it for McConnell. Passes out of a double team as Gibbons open on the weak side. He hits a 3. Gibbons' his first bucket. Exeter doubles the lead to 16-10. Meanwhile, Burns crossed the lane. Rising is Allen. No, but a foul. Well, pretty good dump off by Burns, who drew the attention of the defense and then dumped it across the lane to Allen, who was ready. The junior bumped on his way up. Foul by Gibbons, his first, just the second team foul against Exeter. 3 on the other side to begin for the Warriors. Allen's first is up and good. His first point of the night makes it 16-11. Exeter going to go to the bench. Delgado take a seat. Amir Usta, 6'2" senior forward, onto the floor for the first time for Exeter. Second free throw for Allen is good. 16-12 is Exeter's lead. Coming up on 2 minutes to go here, first quarter. McConnell trying to get a screening roll going. Drops it off to Evan Pafford, who also just checked in, a sophomore. Three-pointer. This is Ryan Looper, also seeing his first action. And a late whistle after Looper is knocked to the floor. 3-point try off target, but Looper is going to head to the free throw line for 3 free throws here. Foul by Burns, as Burns did not quite close out the way he intended. Made a little bit of contact after the shot. Looper's first of 3 is around the rim and no good. Ryan Looper, sophomore, who along with Evan Pafford make up represent the sophomore class, just 2 sophomores on the varsity team. Looper's second is good. His third good as well, so 2 for 3 trip. Exeter matches their largest lead from earlier at 18-12. Inside now, 2 minutes, first quarter. Again, the zone press from Exeter. Burns hesitates, now brings it into the front court. Cross-court skip pass for Andy Otola, and he's fouled on his way up. Well, a good feed there to dissect the zone. Going to get McConnell with his first. Shakes his head in disagreement. Back to the line goes, or Andrew Tola to the line for the first time. Knocks down the free throw. He's the game's highest scorer now with 6 points. Andrea Tola and Allen, 2 big boys, 2 juniors. Saw varsity time last year. Andrea Tola, 2 for 2, checks out. Houston returns. And Winnacunnet again back within 4. Exeter's offense trying to get a lift. Hoping to get a lift from the bench there. Warriors bench trying to help out their guys as well, making noise down on the sideline. Meanwhile, Exeter showing patience. Gibbon behind the back, lost the dribble off the leg. Taken away by Houston, left to right. He goes behind the back, into the lane, hangs no. Trying to follow up his own shot, ripped it away from Gibbons, and now is tied up by Usta in the lane. A jump ball call. Well, Houston, he can slash, and we saw it there. Pretty behind the back dribble to get into the paint and split the double team. Allen double teamed immediately, kicks it up top. 3 on the way from Shaky, off target. Loose in the corner and eventually out of bounds as Allen couldn't quite handle it. Back to Exeter with a 4-point lead. A minute change to go, first quarter. Winnacunnet stays in the half-court man. That's been the look throughout this first quarter. McConnell draws the double, kicks it in the corner. Pafford's 3 is too strong. Weak side rebound taken by Allen. Winnacunnet a solid job on the D-glass so far. Not many second chance tries for Exeter. Meanwhile, Morelli, scooper on the run, no, and then it's Pafford. Comes away with it for Exeter in a crowd. Outlet to McConnell, 45 seconds first quarter. McConnell behind the back dribble, fires up a 3, no good, back iron. Loose again in the corner, and now a jump ball is called. As 2 players hit the floor, Lucas Shaky and John Mayer, who just checked in, the 6'1 junior for Exeter. They're going to call foul on Mayer. 4th team foul. Mayer, the shaggy-haired youngster, A little too aggressive, according to the officials. 14 fouls each way. Burns a drive and kick too strong. Allen not ready for it. Turnover number 5 for Winnacunnet. Down to 25 seconds here, and Exeter may decide to hold it for the final shot here. Mayer, right side, down to 10 seconds. McConnell looks at the clock. He's got the dribble between the circles, wants a clear out. Down to 6, down to 5. Around Shaky, into the lane, kicks it left side. Looper ready for 3, a little short. And that'll do it. Well, pretty good first quarter. Here on the Seacoast, Exeter nursing a 4-point lead here, 18-14 after 1. Right back to the beach in just a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. Start of the second quarter. Exeter with the ball and a 4-point lead, 18-14. Nick Anastas with you from Winnacunnet High School in Hampton. Our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Delgado back on the floor for Exeter. Three-pointer may have been tipped. Ends up with Houston, and he's fouled from behind. It may have been on Gibbons. If so, his second. It's true. So Gibbons with 2. Coach Holmes having a word with his youngster, but he's going to leave him on the floor. Meanwhile, the full court press back in effect. And speaking of 2 fouls, this man, O'Hara, has 2. Doesn't matter. Goes right to the rim. Well, you can see O'Hara not messing around there. Had to sit the last 4 minutes or so of that first quarter after picking up his second foul. And blew off some steam there on that coast-to-coast layup drive. It's a 2-point game now. Exeter is led by as many as 6. McConnell trying to find Gibbons, and a foul is called. As Andrea Tola trying to front the post, came over the top at mid-contact. His first foul, 5 team fouls. Now each way. Let's look at that O'Hara finish. Pretty drive. His first bucket of the game. Meanwhile, Exeter having trouble getting it in. Good defense by Winnacunnet. They do, however, free up McConnell. His 3 is way off. An air ball taken in by Morelli as Winnacunnet continuing to hold down the defensive glass. Morelli now wants a turn, and he's got it at the rim for 2. First bucket for the senior. We've got a tie game here, 6 in a row. Scored by Winnacunnet. It's been a game of runs so far in this first half. Nearly 2 minutes into the second quarter. Gibbons trying to get some breathing room. Counted and the foul. Well, Gibbons, they've been draped all over him to begin this game. And he finally saw a little bit of daylight and shows you what he can do with the left hand. Big power dribble. And then big enough to go through the contact and score the bucket. Despite getting hit by the big forward, Andrea Tola, who does pick up number 2. So now a couple fouls each for O'Hara and Andrea Tola, who is now going to check out of the game. He's upset with himself, has a quick word with Coach McKenna. Joe Allen back on the floor. Meanwhile, one more for Gibbons. Trying to convert the three-point play. The left-hander's free throw is no good. Side spin on the ball off the front iron. Rebound goes to Shaky of Winnacunnet. Gibbons with 5. Exeter's lead 2 at 20-18. To stretch the defense. McConnell, defensive wizard. He's had 3 steals early. O'Hara trying to get away from him. behind the back, lost his footing. Somehow able to keep the possession, though. Shaky wants to clear out. Exeter's defense inspiring the bench. There's a drive by Morelli. 2 big steps and then a right-hand finish. Morelli trying to get going. He hurt his finger, it looked like, in the opening minutes of the game. Checked out. Come back on and has scored 4 points. Has tied the game, more importantly, at 20. Meanwhile, Delgado to the cup, left-hand finish. They'll wave it off. Offensive foul. O'Hara, a gutsy decision there. Steps in front of the player and draws the charge. It could have easily been his third. Instead, he arrives in time, plants the feet, and makes a great defensive play. So, timeout on the floor. As both teams talk it over in the huddle. Each head coach, decade plus on the job. Coach Holmes, a couple of titles in the back pocket, 2019. And the tournament shortened 2020 season. Coach McKenna has had the Warriors competitive throughout the years, but they have not reached the championship round since 2010, hoping to get back this year in 2021. Exeter hoping to go 2-0 out of the chute after beating these Warriors back on Tuesday night in their season opener on their home floor. 20-20. That's the score. As we head towards 3 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Again, the full court press from Exeter. It's made a difference. It's forced 5 early turnovers. Winnacunnet goes inside. It's Allen. He's double teamed on the baseline. And they'll heave it back out towards midcourt. O'Hara frees up Houston, who then travels on the catch. Well, Houston looked like he was a little hesitant there, and he dragged that back left pivot foot as a result. By my count, Winnacunnet with 6 turnovers. Exeter only 2. That's unofficial, though, of course. Backdoor feed. Nearly a turnover there, but they say last touch by Winnacunnet. Exeter trying to free up a cutter. That's Aaron Scher, who just checked in, a 6'1 junior. Heffernan on the baseline, into trouble. A foul is called. Is it on O'Hara? If so, that's number 3. No, they'll get Morelli instead, his first. Either way, that puts Heffernan at the line for 2. It also puts Winnacunnet over the team foul limit with 7. Exeter up against the wall with 6. Free throw no good by Heffernan. Trying to give his team the lead once again. No good there, back iron. 0 for 2 trip by the senior. Rebound Winnacunnet. O'Hara off the screen, drive and kick. Morelli, little head fake in the corner, wants to toe the baseline. Instead, a foul is called. I'm going to get Tyler Gilbert with his first, and now both teams are in the bonus, so 1-1 here for Morelli, who's looked to score the basketball in this second quarter. Free throw up and in. Morelli now with 5. And Winnacunnet out in front for the first time since early in the game, 21-20. Second one in and out for Morelli. Winnacunnet, good hustle, able to save the trip. Drive and kick, 3 on the way, up and in out of the corner by Josh Shaky. Not to be confused with Lucas. It's the younger Shaky, the sophomore, off the bench and into the scorer's book with a tray from the corner. It's 24-20, largest lead for Winnacunnet. 3-pointer. Rattles in and out, no good. Winnacunnet another defensive board, and then a double dribble is called against Houston, who looks confused. Official felt like he touched it with 2 hands, and he may have. Coach McKenna still barking a little bit from the sideline. Exeter a chance to make this a 1-possession game as we head towards the midway point, second quarter. Pass broken up. Players on the floor, and now a timeout is given to Exeter. Called from the sidelines by Coach Holmes. That's okay with Winnacunnet. They're fired up by the defensive effort there of Morelli, who forced what could have been, or what nearly was, a jump ball. But the veteran head coach had other ideas as Coach Holmes calls his second time out of this first half. 24-20. Our score. Exeter has been in front most of the way, although the last 6 have now gone to Winnacunnet. It's been a game of runs here, as it usually is. Nick Anastas with you. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Our YouTube channel is FNLNH Media. That's short for Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. FNLNH Media on YouTube. Final 4 minutes, first half. Exeter's McConnell. He's played excellent so far tonight. Trying to trigger this offense and get Exeter going here. There's been a little bit of a drought. Coming up at nearly 3 minutes since their last point. Gibbons in the high post. Into the corner for Gilbert. Look for Heffernan. Now Gibbons trying to use that long frame to his advantage. Exeter showing patience. Winnacunnet have been rock solid in this man-to-man throughout the first half. Gibbons, head down into the lane. Collision, offensive foul. That's number 3. And that's got the Winnacunnet bench all amped up. So Gibbons now will check out of the game. Coach Holmes rolled the dice by leaving him on the floor with 2. Has to sit now with 3. Gilbert going to check out as well. We get another look at the 2 sophomores, Looper and Pafford for Exeter. Winnacunnet, meanwhile, trying to add to their 4-point lead as we head towards the 3-minute mark. Morelli's 3 in and out, offensive rebound. Allen back to O'Hara. This 3. Too strong, back iron, tipped. No good by Morelli. And finally, Exeter clears the defensive glass near side as Heffernan comes down with it. McConnell left his feet, nowhere to go, leaves it for Looper. Driving kick, Heffernan. McConnell off the screen, fade away on the baseline, short. Offensive rebound, Heffernan back into the corner. McConnell back in a firing position. He drills another 3. His second from downtown, a rare second chance opportunity for Exeter. 8 points now for McConnell. Makes him the high man. 2:40 to go first half. Exeter has clawed their way back within 1. Winnacunnet back inside. Morelli can't bank it. Stays with his own miss. Trying to spin in the lane and is fouled by Pafford on his way back up. Well, good effort. The big man working hard down there. His father sitting front row. Big presence of his own. I think he's 6'9", 6'10". Don't have Morelli's height listed, but I'd say about 6'2", 6'3". He's come alive here in this second quarter. Now 2 of 3 from the line after that make. He's got 6 points. Second free throw, good as well. 26-23, Winnacunnet. They've led most of this second quarter, trying to put it in cement at halftime. Exeter other ideas here. They can cut it to 1 with a 2 or tie with a 3. Pafford up top. Crossover trying to free himself up. Now Looper around the bigger defender. Scoop shot there. A little too fancy. No good. Allen the rebound for Winnacunnet. O'Hara into the front court. The red-hot Morelli fires a 3 and drills it yet again. Morelli. Now the game's high score. He's the first to double figures with 10. Largest lead for Winnacunnet on the board. 6 points the margin. 29-23 inside of 2 minutes now first half. And a foul here at the top of the key is going to come against the Warriors. As Josh Shakey tried to fight through the pick. And ended up fouling Pafford, who's going to head to the line for a 1-and-1. Pafford, the sophomore, trying to get into the scorer's book. He does there with the free throw. Well, Lucas Shockey replaces his brother Josh, who just picked up that foul, his first. One more for the right-hander, Pafford. Rolls around the rim and then drops. So a 2 for true trip there for the youngster. Another quick sub. Usta is back on, replacing Tom Delgado for Exeter. That gives the Blue Hawks a chance to set up the press here. It's a full court man. McConnell got his hands on the pass. Pafford the steal. Ahead to McConnell, who lays it in. Boy, McConnell won't give him a steal there, but should have been at least a half a steal, which would bring him up to 3.5 steals, as that sounds. Meanwhile, a foul at the other end. It's going to lead to O'Hara free throws. Double bonus time. 10 team fouls now against Exeter, with 1:36 to go in this second quarter. O'Hara had foul trouble of his own earlier. Hits the free throw. 3 points for the point guard, the senior. Second one good as well. Winnacunnet doing damage at the line collectively. I believe they're 10 of 11 unofficially from the line in the first half. So big key to this game, at least so far. It's factored into Exeter's 31-27 lead. Usta in the lane. Good up fake and then back out to Pafford. 3 no. Looper offensive rebound off the long miss. Leaves his feet, throws a pass to the corner. 3 on the way, in and out. Just hasn't worked for Heffernan. Who's gotten some good looks from three-point land, but has not been able to convert by and large. Morelli inside out for Houston. His 3 is short. Offensive rebound. Shaky, able to spin left. Off target, stays with his own miss. It's back out to O'Hara. Warriors building up a big advantage on the glass. Meanwhile, Morelli is fouled on the 3 attempt. Morelli going to head to the line, hit by Ooster. And that's got Coach Holmes rolling his eyes on the Exeter sideline. Ooster's first. 3 free throws on the way for Morelli. No good off the back iron. He's now 3 of 5 at the line. Second one no good. Well, I just praised Winnacunnet's free throw shooting. I may have jinxed the youngster. Meanwhile, a sub, O'Hara, got to come off the floor. Coach McKenna does not want to leave his point guard in with 2 fouls for the final 45 seconds. Morelli salvages the trip, goes 1 for 3. He's got a game-high 11. Winnacunnet's lead is 5 at 32-27. Looper, open in the corner for a moment, closed out well by Houston. Then his pass tipped into the backcourt. Burns got a hold of it. No, they're saying over and back. Nobody tipped it. Or it was either that or last touch before it went into the backcourt by Exeter. Either way, a Blue Hawk giveaway, their 3rd. So perhaps the final shot of this first half belongs to Winnacunnet. Well, spoke too soon. Pafford, a beautiful play. Picked the pocket of Shaky. And this blocked from behind by Shaky. Good hustle. Able to track it down. That's got the Winnacunnet bench fired up. Tremendous job avoiding the foul, 1, and 2, pinning that one off the glass to save what should have been a layup for Exeter. 15 seconds. Blue Hawks, though, still with a chance for the first half's final shot. McConnell trying to free himself up, whips it out. Usta is ready. That 3 is too strong. Loose in the corner. Exeter tracks it down. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Usta back to McConnell. A 30-foot heave off the rim and no good, and that will do it for the first half. Winnacunnet, a big second quarter. They trailed after 1. And after your 1/2 of play, they have a 5-point lead on their home floor, gunning for their second win of the season. 32-27, halfway through here in Hampton. Coming up, we'll take a look around the NHIAA, a busy night in basketball land statewide. We'll also take a look at some of those first half numbers as well. Second half, we'll get you geared up for that too. All right, back in just a moment. You are watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Go black for like a couple seconds. Go back. What's the connection? Yeah. Our broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gives you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the second half here in Hampton. Winnacunnet with a 32-27 lead over Exeter. A rematch from earlier in the week. The Blue Hawks beat the Warriors in Exeter back on Tuesday night by a final score of 59-50. And I'm sure that that's fresh on the Warriors' mind tonight on their senior night. Home opener here. No. They opened the season at home with a win over Spalding last week before losing on the road at Exeter on Tuesday. So the Warriors trying to split the early series with Exeter and get back above the 500 mark, while the Blue Hawks hoping to go 2-0 out of the gate. Well, an interesting first half. Winnacunnet, who trailed after one, took the lead and looked good doing it in the second quarter on the shoulders of Brett Morelli. Senior forward scoring all 11 of his points in that second quarter. He ends up as the high man on either side, although Morelli had help from junior Sam Andriatola, who had 7 for Winnacunnet. Exeter was led by Matt McConnell, a team-high 8 points. Also had 3 steals on the defensive end. McConnell, one of 6 scorers for Exeter. Jacob Gibbons held in check. The 6'5 senior picked up his 3rd foul just before halftime and was held to just 5 points in that first half. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Holmes wants to do in terms of his minutes, as again, Gibbons, 3 fouls to begin the second half. Other scores tonight. A busy slate of games, including a battle in the Queen City. Memorial and Central meeting at Memorial, and it's the Crusaders who come away with a 59-56 win over the Little Green. That game is over. Again, a 3-point win tonight for Memorial on their home floor. Other games in action. Late in the third quarter, Goffstown a 43-36 lead over Trinity. At the end of 3, Dover holding on to a 40-36 lead over Spalding. Bedford, a 25-16 lead at halftime over Concord. That game low scoring. Bulldogs in action on back-to-back nights. An update here, by the way, the Trinity-Goffstown game has gone final. Goffstown pulls away 66-49 the final. And in real time, an update as well. Bedford has now a 13-point lead over Concord about midway through the fourth quarter, 41-28 there as the Bulldogs look for their first win of the season. All right, Gibbons is on the floor. He's at the head of the zone press here, a 3-quarter court zone look out of the gate from Exeter. Winnacunnet handles it well. It leads to a Morelli runner, which won't go. Delgado had it ripped away by Andriatola, who scores with the right hand. Well, the big man didn't give up on the play. He's got 9 now. And it's the largest lead either way on the board here. Winnacunnet in front 34-27. Gibbons backdoor cut. McConnell can't bank it. Rebound O'Hara. Winnacunnet wants to run. 3-on-3. 2 big steps through the crowd and then the layup off the window. Pretty finish for O'Hara, who's played a solid floor game tonight. Picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter, but has gotten into rhythm. Winnacunnet up by 9. Step back 3. Delgado won't go from straight away, and it's Houston who muscles the rebound on the defensive end for Winnacunnet. Warriors really doing a nice job in that first half on the glass. Meanwhile, Houston trying to break down Gibbons off the dribble. Can't get the layup to go. Gibbons clears the glass and now powers out. Going to pull up? No. Going to stop the dribble. Leaves it for a teammate. The trailer is Heffernan. Three-pointer halfway down. Won't go. Offensive rebound, Gilbert. Back out Gibbons. Three-pointer. Off target again. And finally, Houston clears the glass. Three-point line has not been very kind to Exeter. Defensive effort, though, forces another Winnacunnet turnover. Gibbons with the steal. 7th giveaway by the Warriors. Exeter down by 9, trying to settle in on the offensive side. Delgado's 3 is up and in. That's one way to do it. Tom Delgado, the senior. From downtown, he's got 8. Exeter needed that. 2-possession game, 36-30, 2 minutes in, third quarter. O'Hara and Houston, 2-man game, far side. Houston wants a one-on-one with Gibbons off the crossover, dumps it inside. Andrea Tola does the rest. Pretty feed from Houston. Andrea Tola now in double figures with 11. Delgado hit a 3 a moment ago. Tries one from the opposite wing. Too strong. Rebound is Shockey, and now Morelli through a crowd. Can't get it with the left hand. May have been partially tipped. Gibbons the other way for Exeter. McConnell has the trailer. Heffernan passes on the 3. Gets one at the rim and lays it in off the window over Houston. Pretty finish by Heffernan. The long range hadn't been working. Tries to bring it in closer, and that pays off. Meanwhile, a foul quickly on the other side. It's the first either way in this second half. It goes against the visitors, and it's on McConnell, his 3rd. So now Gibbons and McConnell, arguably Exeter's best 2 players, with 2 fouls each. That's going to force Coach Holmes' hand. He brings in Looper, who played well off the bench, to replace McConnell at the point guard spot. Meanwhile, three-pointer, high arcing and pretty to watch from Lucas Shaky. He's got 8 points now. That one nearly hit the rafters. It was so high. 41-32, a 9-point gap. Meanwhile, Gibbons, a fadeaway on the baseline. He was bumped. No whistle. Shot off the side of the backboard. Winnacunnet the other way. Shaky looks for Andrea Tola. Head down towards the baseline. Lost the dribble. Recovers. Trying to pivot out of trouble. Up top, Morelli, a shot fake. He loses the ball now. Houston picks it up in the lane. Goes to the cup and scores off the window. And Coach Holmes has seen enough. Timeout, Exeter. The champs in some trouble. Nearing the midway point, third quarter, Winnacunnet has opened up their largest lead of the night at now 43-32. By the way, that first bucket a moment ago was unofficially Elin Houston's first. Senior has played most of the night. Not taking too many shots, though. He's looked to get others involved. He's piled up a few assists, and he's played well on the defensive end and has rebounded the ball well. So Houston doing a little bit of everything, including scoring the ball as he did a moment ago. Meanwhile, Winnacunnet, a couple of buckets inside from Andrea Tola, who is now in double figures along with Morelli. And the three-point line coming in to effect as well as Lucas Shaky hit a 3 a moment ago. So this Winnacunnet team, they're balanced. They hung around on Tuesday. They ended up losing a close game at Exeter, but over the last 72 hours or so, I'd imagine that revenge has been on the mind, and that is manifesting itself here in the early going of this third quarter. 43-32, Winnacunnet's largest lead. And out of the break, Coach McKenna is going to make Exeter work. Full court press. They're going to drop back now and allow Heffernan to come into the front court. Exeter still without their floor general. McConnell on the sideline with 3 fouls. Delgado's 3, a little rushed onto the corner, and the rebound ripped by O'Hara. He wants to run. He's going to go to the cup. No good. Offensive rebound for a moment. Andrea Tola, and then stripped by Looper, and a foul on Andrea Tola on his way to the floor. Well, the cardinal sin of any big man, you get a rebound, you leave it high, and he brought it below the chest, and that's where Looper was able to get in there and poke it loose. Good job by the sophomore. And with that, Andrea Tola is going to sit. As Winnacunnet goes back to the bench, they go back with Joseph Allen here in the middle. 43-32, midway through third quarter. Exeter needs a basket. Three-pointer, too strong. Out of the corner, no good for Gilbert. Another defensive rebound for the Warriors. Blue Hawks trying to dig in now on the defensive end, which is where comebacks really start. Meanwhile, O'Hara having trouble with Looper, knocked it away. Delgado behind the back, and then he lost it from behind. The ball is still loose, and now they rule it out of bounds on the baseline, I believe, last touched by the Warriors. As Shaky, actually laying on the baseline when he made contact with the ball, touched it with his right hand as he was out of bounds, so it will be Exeter ball. Free up Heffernan, hands to Looper in the corner. Frees himself up, long two, won't go on the fade. Rebound for Morelli. Long pass up the floor, Shake trying to muscle along the baseline. Gives an up fake, shoots, a little too strong, tipped. Stays with Morelli, stripped on the way up. Now Gibbons out of a crowd for Exeter. Into the front court, poked away from behind by Houston. O'Hara, bounce pass to Shake, into the corner, Morelli, a three, no, but a foul. Well, the second time the Blue Hawks have fouled a three-point shooter in the act. Morelli's been busy at the line tonight. Back to the stripe for Winnacunnet with 3 minutes and change to go in this third quarter. Morelli scored all 11 of his first half points in the second quarter, but has had mixed results at the free throw line. Now 4 of 8 after that miss. Second one is good. Got an interesting spin on the ball. It's kind of a side spin, east-west as opposed to north-south. Meanwhile, Burns back on, replacing Houston. Burns played well off the bench, in my opinion, in that first half, and Houston has played well all night. As one of the starting guards for Coach McKenna, he's going to get some daps over there on the sideline for a job well done. Free throw good by Morelli. He's got 12. His team's lead is 13 with 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Gibbons, a three. Exeter needed that. His first bucket of the second half. 8 points now in the game for the talented 6'5" senior. Exeter back within 10, and now a foul here against the Blue Hawk defense. Looper hit the floor trying to draw the offensive call, but the official's not fooled. Third team foul in this third quarter against Exeter, only one on the other side against Winnacunnet. Morelli up top. Tries to lob it underneath. It was tipped, I think twice. Last touch by Shaky, who claims innocence, but another giveaway for Winnacunnet. 6 turnovers in that first half. They've got 9 now in the game. Gibbons hit a three from that spot a moment ago, and he's got another. Well, they can score in bunches. And Gibbons, after being contained in that first half, has come alive. He's now got a team-high 11. Exeter back within 7. Coming up at 2 minutes, third quarter. Winnacunnet now trying to come up with a response. The Exeter bench cheering on the defense. Shaky up top. Not an inch to give. O'Hara around Looper. Ran out of room on the baseline. Shot short. Rebound Delgado. Blue Hawks want to run a collision at midcourt, and a foul is called as Looper and Shaky collided. And I think they're going to get Shaky here with a blocking foul. Yep, his second. Team second. Exeter some subs. Meyer and Pafford, who both played briefly in the first half, back onto the floor for Coach Holmes. And we get a timeout on the floor with just inside of 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Winnacunnet has played from ahead most of the night now and have extended their halftime lead to 7. It's 45-38. Well, a reminder to Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We've got regular broadcasts coming throughout this basketball season. At least one, most likely two broadcasts a week. And the only way to stay notified is to subscribe. Again, our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. FNLNH Media. Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. FNLNH Media is the channel on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well for the notifications. And you won't miss a thing all season long. All right, out of the timeout, Exeter trying to make it a two-possession game. Trailed by as many as 13 a moment ago. Pafford, good quick pass. Meyer passes on the three. Driving kick up top. Gibbons an extra look. McConnell, who's back on the floor, picks up his fourth foul on an offensive foul. That's a big blow. Well, McConnell likes to leave his feet often. Sometimes making a decision midair. It cost him there. His fourth. Coach Holmes, hands on his hips. Going to leave the senior in for now. Meanwhile, Morelli draws a foul on his way to the rim and will shoot two. Well, Morelli's played an aggressive game tonight. Hurt his finger in the opening minutes. Had to check out of the game for a while, but came alive in that second quarter with 11, and he's been very active at the line tonight, 5 of 9 from the stripe. Gets a friendly roll there. Good spin on that shot. Morelli now with 13. 6 of 10 effort at the stripe. One more as well. He's hit 3 in a row. 47-39, minute and a half to go, third quarter. Winnacunnet, they've dabbled with the full court press. They're going to apply it here. Meanwhile, McConnell out of the game for Exeter. Upset along the back row of the bench. Looper, Gibbons, Heffernan, along with Meyer and Pafford, the 5 in blue for the Blue Hawks. Down by 9. Backdoor feed, trying to find Meyer. Goes off his knee, out of bounds, but last touch by the Winnacunnet defense. O'Hara disagrees. Gibbons has been the hot hand in the third quarter. The 6'5 senior. Fadeaway from 16 won't go. Burns a good rebound for Winnacunnet. Defensive glass solid tonight for the Warriors. Final minute, third quarter. Winnacunnet trying to stretch the lead to double figures. Swing it to Burns in the corner. They lob it inside. Allen draws attention. Shot short. Tipped. Gibbons comes down with the defensive board. 45 seconds. Gibbons behind the back, into the corner. Heffernan struggled from 3 tonight. Can't find the answer in the corner. Looper on the baseline. His 2 won't go. It's still loose. Pafford is going to clear it back out for Gibbons. Gibbons now with Burns on his hip. Dribbles into the corner. And now with under 30 seconds, Exeter's going to refresh. No. O'Hara with the steal. Full head of steam to the rim. Lays it in off the glass. O'Hara, he's been lightning in a bottle defensively, and a big steal and conversion there. It's got this home crowd fired up. Winnacunnet by double digits, 49-38, final 10 seconds. Gibbons wants the last shot. Going to go at Morelli, one-on-one. To his left, three-pointer, up and short. Rebound for Allen, taken away by Heffernan, who lost his footing. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. Winnacunnet extending their half-court or half-time lead. Now to 11, 49-38. It's been a good team effort tonight as the Warriors look for their second win of the season, trying to hand Exeter a revenge loss. Will that be the case, or will the champs rally back in the fourth? We find out next. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Broadcast today, as it usually is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance gets you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. So call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. Start of the fourth quarter. The champs with work to do. Exeter down 11. Winnacunnet holding a 49-38 lead. Nick Anastas with you from Hampton. Warriors looking for their second win of the season. Trying to avenge a loss from back on Tuesday where they fell by a final score of 59-50 in Exeter. Blue Hawks. Now they trail by 5 at the break. And by as many as 13 in that third quarter. Foul trouble an issue tonight. Gibbons picked up his third before halftime, and starting point guard McConnell now with 4 on the sideline for Exeter to begin this fourth quarter. No, I stand corrected. He's on the floor playing with 4. So Coach Holmes rolling the dice a bit with still 7.5 minutes to go. Meanwhile, a foul is going to be called against Exeter underneath. It's on Amir Usta. Got pinned on the backside of Allen, tried to go over the top to deny that entry pass. Exeter in a little foul trouble as well, team foul-wise. They've got 6. So the next one will result in a 1-and-1 for Winnacunnet, only 2 against the Warriors in the second half. Winnacunnet a 49-38 lead. They're going to take their time here on their first trip of this fourth quarter. Burns, drive and dump. Allen blocked on his way up. Good play by Delgado, who comes down with the miss. Now Gibbons into the front court. Exeter trying to cut the lead to single digits. Three-pointer is off target by McConnell. The air ball collected by the Warriors, but they turn it over at midcourt. Stolen by Heffernan, throws it wildly into the corner. Delgado tracks it down. Blue Hawks trying to reset. Burns bodying up Delgado, and he's called for the foul along the sideline in front of the Blue Hawk bench. He knows it. He taps his chest, admitting guilt. Again, just the third team foul tonight for the Warriors. Exeter, they've taken care of the ball. Not shot particularly well, though, especially from downtown. The three-point line has not been kind, including that three was blocked by O'Hara. Recovered, though, by the shooter Delgado. He frees up Gibbons on the weak side. His three is off target, and finally, Winnacunnet able to track down the defensive board. Minute and a half gone, fourth quarter. Neither team has scored here in the frame. Burns, Allen, Shaky the younger will get along too. That's the sophomore, Josh Shaky. 3 points in that first half. Now 5 in the game after that too. Runner, little short. Allen takes the board off the floor. And Morelli takes the outlet into the front court. Shake and bake, drops it to Shake, lost it. Back into Shake, into the corner. Burns a 3. Too strong. And then rolled out of bounds. The ball touches the top of the backboard. 51-38, Winnacunnet. They've matched their largest lead. Josh Shakey will take a seat after giving the Warriors a bump off the bench. Andrea Tola, who's in double figures with 11, is back on the floor for Winnacunnet and will play the center spot. Exeter work to do. They're down 13. McConnell. Heffernan. Three-pointer, finally. Well, they hit one in the first quarter, had not made one since up until there, and it's a big one. A well-timed 3 by Heffernan, who now has 8. And more importantly, Winnacunnet, their lead down to 10. Warriors going to take some clock. No, they won't. O'Hara is going to find a seam and find the cup with a layup. I like his game, I really do. James O'Hara, now the third Warrior in double figures with 10. The lead back to a dozen. Gibbons, a backdoor cut pass a little long. Able to save it, though, to McConnell in the corner. McConnell steps into a long 2 on the baseline and scores. Matt McConnell. Second Blue Hawk in double figures. McConnell joins Gibbons. Gibbons 11. McConnell now 10 points after that bucket. A quick timeout here. With 3 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. 53-43. Winnacunnet, they've led most of the way. The Blue Hawks actually had the lead after the first quarter, but Winnacunnet, led by Brett Morelli in the second quarter, wrestled the lead away from the Chants and have not given it back since. Well, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for both of these teams. We'll start with Exeter. Got the weekend off. And then Monday back at it with a Seacoast rivalry. Dover on the schedule 3 times next week. At home Monday, on the road at Dover on Wednesday, and then back in Exeter to face the Green Wave on Friday. For Winnacunnet, they will see the Portsmouth Clippers for the next 2 games. At Portsmouth Tuesday, they host Portsmouth on Friday, and then kick off next week with a home-and-home against Memorial. So this strange 21 campaign continues. A lot of home-and-homes, a lot of 3-game weeks, some weekend games sprinkled in. Make sure you subscribe to FNLNH Media on YouTube so you don't miss a thing all season. Meanwhile, what do we got here? An offensive foul. Kind of a bizarre call there against Allen. No, it's on Andrew Tola. Not sure what happened there. The officials are going to give Coach McKenna an explanation. By the way, Andrew Tola's 4th. First player to 4 fouls for Winnacunnet. 3-pointer Delgado, straight away, got it. Delgado, he's had a sneaky good game. 11 points, and now a kick in the corner. There's Usta, got his right sneaker on the basketball. Trying to come up with a steal out of the trap. Exeter, meanwhile, back within 7. 53-46. The champ's good on the press, but not on this possession as Morelli takes it in the front court. Inside, Houston, power dribble, power move. No, but a foul. And if it's on McConnell, he is done. Yep, McConnell is just fouled out. As you can see, pulling his hair on the way to the bench, upset. A couple of 50-50 calls that just haven't gone his way in the second half, and he's visibly unhappy. Played a good game, though. 3 steals in the first quarter. Fouls out with 10 points. And he doesn't want any part of his teammates right now. Just wants to blow off some steam behind the bench. Meanwhile, Houston has played a good floor game tonight for Winnacunnet. Trying to add to his total. No problem there. By the way, the free throw disparity has been a real thing. I'll add those numbers up after the game. But Winnacunnet nearly doubling the amount of free throws that Exeter has taken in this game. 55-46, 2-for-2 trip for Houston. All 4 of his points have come since halftime. Midway through 4th quarter. Exeter down 9. O'Hara, another steal, and then a jump ball is called. Boy, O'Hara, he's been excellent defensively tonight for Winnacunnet. And a turnover here by the Blue Hawks. Miscommunication leads to an errant pass out of bounds into the Exeter bench. Ball lands in Coach Holmes' lap, not what he wanted to see. Full court press by the Blue Hawks. O'Hara trying to beat it in the middle with the dribble. That never works. Doesn't there either. Usta the steal, leaves it for Delgado. Pulls up for 3 from the wing. No. Andrew Tola skying defensive rebound. Make that Allen in a pack. Outlet to Houston. And now it's a 3-on-0. And O'Hara given a gift there. Well, Exeter sold out trying to hit the offensive glass. And O'Hara able to slip away for a bunny. Lead back to 11 with 3.5 to go. Gibbons out of control. Fadeaway won't go. Allen clears the glass and Winnacunnet a chance to run some more clock. They won't, though. A steal. Good defensive play. And an easy layup for Heffernan. 4th Exeter player in double figures with 10. Coming up in 3 minutes. Blue Hawks making it happen on the press. A second straight steal. 3-pointer. No, but a foul on Andrew Tola, who pleads innocence. Saying, hey, all I did was lift my hand up. But the official's unsympathetic as they send her to the bench. He's fouled out with 5. So Heffernan, who has struggled from the 3-point line, has a chance for 3 here at the free throw line. Can't get the first to go, though. Second one good. We've seen a combined 4 fouls called tonight from behind the three-point line, where shooters in the act have been rewarded 3 free throws. That can't sit well with either coach. 2 for 3 trip for Heffernan. His team needed it. They're within 7. 3 minutes to go. 57-50. Winnacunnet now trying to play keep away. A third straight steal in the backcourt by Exeter is going to lead to free throws here for Gibbons. Fouled at the rim. Exeter really forcing Coach McKenna now to gather his group along the sideline. He wants a timeout. He's going to get it, as the Warriors need to figure out how to break this press. They had done a pretty good job all night with it, but now 3 straight turnovers has given Exeter some new life here with just inside of 3 minutes to go. There you can see the play by Heffernan. Great anticipation, picked the pocket of Morelli, went right to the hole for 2. Heffernan, again, has not shot it well from three-point land tonight, although he did hit 2 threes and has somehow come up with now 12 points for his club. That makes him the high man for Exeter. On the other side, Winnacunnet had a balanced approach. Brett Morelli is the game's high scorer with 14. With 7 of those 14 coming from the free throw line. He's had help from the point guard, James O'Hara, who has 12 points and a handful of steals. Well, at least 3 by my count. And Sam Andritola, who just fouled out, ends his night with 11 points, 7 of which came in the first half. Free throw for Gibbons out of the timeout, up and good, and suddenly it's a 2-possession game again. Gibbons has had a big second half. 7 of his 12 since the break. Free throw there is good as well. 13 now for Gibbons, and this is the closest Exeter has been since halftime. They're down 5. Houston out of control, spinning, and then tied up by Gibbons as both players hit the floor. Meanwhile, this crowd here in Hampton has gone quiet. On edge as Exeter has come back. Scored 6 straight to make this a 5-point game. Winnacunnet needs a response. Instead, they'll throw it away. Gibson the steal off the inbound and then scores despite the bump. No foul there. Gibbons looking for a whistle. Somehow got it to go anyway. He's got 15. Meanwhile, O'Hara to the rim is called for a carry. Well, Exeter smelling the momentum change. Their bench on their feet. McConnell, the starting point guard, who's fouled out. Now the head cheerleader in blue trying to rally his guys. They've got a chance to perhaps tie the game. Down by 3 here on this trip as we head towards 2.5 to go. Looper. Delgado, 3-pointer. Up and in, and we are tied. Tom Delgado didn't hesitate. He's got 14 and another Winnacunnet turnover. Now that's the 5th giveaway of this 4th quarter, really the 5th of the last 3 minutes. Exeter a chance for the lead. They have not held the lead since early in the 2nd quarter. They're going to turn it over here on an over and back. Good pressure by Houston. Delgado frustrated. So now the pressure on Winnacunnet. Exeter, I believe, has scored 11 straight as we hit the 2-minute warning. Houston a one-on-one with Gibbons. Fadeaway on the baseline, short. Tough over a 6'5 defender, and the rebound taken off the floor by Heffernan. Exeter with the momentum, now looking for the lead. We're inside of 2 minutes, down to 1:45. Looper, the sophomore, looks over at Coach Holmes. And now foul on Houston, tried to poke it loose. Almost came up with a steal there, but got a piece of Gibbons. to commit his first foul, and that's big because it's also team foul number 7, which means free throws. A 1-and-1 here for Gibbons, who's been busy tonight. For Exeter, he's the game's high scorer with 15. He's 2 for 2 in the second half at the line. He's got no problem there, giving his club their first lead since the first half. 101 seconds remain. Winnacunnet moments ago held an 11-point lead, which has evaporated thanks to this Exeter defense. The second for Gibbons, up and good. 4 for 4 at the line in this fourth quarter. It's what Stars do. He was contained in the first half. He had foul trouble. He only had 5 at halftime. But he has led the way and blazed the trail here for this comeback. Exeter by 2, 59-57. Minute and a half to go, and O'Hara is going to draw a foul here. Looper, the young sophomore defender, a little over-anxious defensively, gets called for a reach, and O'Hara is going to go to the free throw line. First time in this second half. Hit 2 free throws back in the second quarter and hits one here without a problem. To up his point total to 13 and bring his club within 1 with 1:26 to go. A chance to tie here. Up and good. 59-59. Why not? Did a broadcast in this building last season. We went to overtime. Is that in the cards tonight? Gibbons has been the man. He wants the ball. He's going to drive and kick. Delgado, a 3, in and out. And the rebound falls to Winnacunnet. Shaky pulls it away. And here we go. Down to 1 minute remaining. Fourth quarter. Game tied at 59. Shaky gives up the dribble and gets a timeout from the sideline. Coach McKenna sensed his guy was in trouble and calls a timeout with 57 seconds remaining here in this fourth quarter. A brilliant game. We knew it would be. Winnacunnet trailed most of the night. Sorry. Exeter has actually trailed most of the night. Winnacunnet a 5-point halftime lead. A 9-point lead after 3. They led by as many as 13 in the fourth. By 11 midway through the fourth. And that's when Exeter's full court defense finally bore some fruit. At one point, the Blue Hawks rattled off 13 in a row to take a brief 2-point lead. The last 2 go to Exeter via the free throw line. Sorry, to Winnacunnet via the free throw line. And here we are tied at 59 apiece. Coming up after the game, a look around the state. Busy night. Central and Memorial meeting. Goffstown and Trinity. Bedford Concord. We'll take a look at all the D1 scores, as well as recap this one. Whenever this ends, whether that's regulation or in overtime. Got a feeling maybe we might be playing extra ball tonight. Allen blocked from behind at the rim. It goes out of bounds. Delgado swatting it cleanly with the right hand. Good timeout drawn up by Coach McKenna to free up Allen. But a better recovery by Delgado to deny the shot. It'll stay, though, with the Warriors. Exeter in a man-to-man. Clock ticking. We're down to 45 seconds. Morelli in the corner, trying to make it happen. Had his pocket picked by Pafford. Pafford then loses the dribble out of bounds back to Winnacunnet. Boy, the blood pressure, I imagine, rising on the sidelines. Both head coaches holding their breath there. Winnacunnet ball trying to break the tie, down to 35 seconds. Houston on the wing for Allen. Trying to figure out where to go between the circles. Puts it on the deck, far wing. Now O'Hara holds it head high. Too shaky, trying to bull his way into the lane. Good pivot move, left it a little bit short. Ball loose in the corner, players on the floor, and we've got a tie-up jump ball with 16 seconds to go. Exeter has the possession arrow. Well, a pretty good shot after a pretty good move by Shaky, able to pivot and free himself up from point-blank range, left it a little short off the window. And now Exeter a chance to perhaps steal one on the road. Trailed by double digits in this fourth quarter. They look dead in the water. And now here we are, the final 10 seconds. Gibbons looks at the clock. Down to 8, down to 7. Right-hand dribble, trying to shake off Morelli into the lane. Backdoor for Pafford. There's the layup. 4 seconds, timeout, Winnacunnet. The sophomore, Evan Pafford, his first bucket of the second half. And Exeter looking to put the cherry on the sundae with a come-from-behind fourth-quarter win. Winnacunnet, however, left with 3 seconds, long enough for Coach McKenna to draw up a play. But what a brilliant move by the senior Josh Gibbons. Drew the attention of the defense with the left-hand dribble drive, and then able to dump it down where the sophomore Pafford was ready. And a nice catch and finish by the youngster. The difference right now in a 61-59 Exeter lead. Well, I said 3.2 a moment ago. The officials get together. They decide to add, 7/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second. So now 4 seconds even remaining on the clock. The catch is that Winnacunnet now forced to go the length of the floor. They'll inbound from their own baseline. The inbounder will be Allen. Exeter retreats the defense to midcourt where they match up. Allen looking for a body. Finally gets it to O'Hara on the sideline. Tried to draw the contact, throws a heave up the floor. It's taken away by Gibbons, and that is it. Exeter able to avoid the foul in the closing seconds, and they capture a 61-59 come-from-behind lead. They trail by 11 with 4 minutes to go, and they leave this Hampton crowd stunned here at Winnacunnet. Well, that's what the champs do. They find ways to win, and Exeter, despite McConnell, their floor general, having fouled out for that stretch, that final 4-minute stretch, Exeter led by Gibbons. But really a team effort, able to get it done over the final 4 minutes. And outscore Winnacunnet, I believe, 14-2 over the final 2 minutes. Winnacunnet had turnover problems tonight. They did a lot of things well, including rebound the basketball. They scored it consistently. They made plays on defense, but in the end, it's not enough as Exeter orchestrates a brilliant come-from-behind comeback to improve to 2-0 on this young season. And they're, of course, 2-0 against Winnacunnet as the Warriors drop to 1-2 overall. Well, Winnacunnet a chance to get well, as we mentioned, next week with 3 matchups against Dover. And hopefully that's the medicine that Coach McKenna's club needs. But, boy, just a good 28 minutes tonight, really, for the Warriors before the bottom falls out in the final 4. As the Warriors surrender the double-digit lead, and Exeter comes away with a 61-59 victory. Some final numbers from this one. Jake Gibbons ends up being the high man with 17 points, 12 of those coming in the second half. He was one of 4 Blue Hawks in double figures. Tom Delgado was big with 14 points, including 4 3-pointers in this one. Chris Heffernan found a way to score 12 points. And Matt McConnell, before fouling out, finished up with 10. Winnacunnet on the other side. Big first half for Brett Morelli, 11 of his 14 coming prior to halftime. Sam Andriatola saw his night cut short, but does finish in double figures with 11. James O'Hara had 14, including a pair of big free throws there to tie it late for Winnacunnet, but it's not enough as the Warriors again fall by 2. All right, a final look around the state tonight. A busy night on the second Friday night of action. We get a Seacoast final. Dover, we mentioned them. They'll see Winnacunnet 3 times next week. They win tonight. They beat Spalding 55-47. The Bedford Bulldogs get their first win of the season tonight as they bounce back from an opening night loss to BG. They beat Concord 54-38. Wyndham, a big win over Timberlane. Jaguars look dangerous. 70-46 is the final there. They'll face Nashua South on Tuesday. Lebanon over Mascoma. That's a lower division game. The Red Raiders get the win there, 56-50. What else? Messinic, 52. Wilton Lineborough, 23. And, well, that Bedford-Concord score of 54-38, that was actually on the girls' side, I think. No, I don't think so. Bedford, they played Concord on the boys' side tonight. And I think the Bedford girls were battling Trinity. I'm not sure on that, actually. But what I do know is we saw a good game here in Hampton tonight. An excellent comeback. One for the memories. As Exeter down as many as 13 in the second half, they erased an 11-point lead in the final 4 minutes. And again, come away with a 61-59 victory. All right, that does it. I want to thank our videographer, John Barron, doing a great job again tonight here in Hampton. And back in our Beals Insurance Studios, producer Ben Beals, hard at work as well. A final reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the upcoming broadcast information. Again, we're on YouTube at FNLNH Media. Again, that's FNLNH Media. I'm Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Exeter 61, Winnacunnet 59. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.